With so many different ways to make money in GTA Online, tons of businesses and money-making methods, it can be hard to keep everything organized and build a solid, structured, and highly profitable grinding routine. That's why in this video, I've put together and organized all the best money methods in the game in the best possible order and schedule based on how long each activity takes. This way you can maximize your profit without having to stop and think about what to do next. Well, there are tasks in the routine that you'll do once a week, once a day, and others that you'll repeat multiple times a day. The first thing to do is resupply all your businesses. What I do is set my spawn point to the arcade before logging off the day before, so when I log in the next day, I'm already there. That's because I'll use the master control terminal to resupply some of the businesses. Actually just two, the nightclub and the bunker. I don't use the MC businesses because they're really not good for solo players, but if you do, go ahead and resupply all of them directly from here. Now technically I'm not going to resupply the nightclub because it doesn't need it. What I'll do instead is rotate the DJs for 10k each until the popularity bar is at 90%. You'll understand why in a bit. With the popularity up, I leave and open the bunker tab to buy supplies right away so nothing's ever sitting idle. After that, I leave the arcade and start going through all my special cargo warehouses. As you can see, I own all of them and have them lined up, so this shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. I go ahead and pay $7,500 to each of the technicians in the warehouses to sort between 1 and 3 crates. Over time, as I keep doing this, the warehouses will eventually fill up, and then it's just a matter of selling everything for millions in a public lobby with 20+ players. Or you can do what I and many other players do, wait for a week with a double money event and sell it for over $30 million. It's super rare, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens sometime in the next 2 months. It's been a while since Rockstar gave a boost to this. Next up is the acid lab. This one is really simple. As long as you're not inside a property, you can just call MUT to buy supplies, which is super convenient. Actually, with the acid lab, you should also go there in person from time to time so you can use the manufacturing table. That boosts your production speed by 2 for 30 minutes, and you can use it once per real life day. So this resupplying cycle should be done every 48 minutes. Never let your businesses stop making you passive income in the background. Now we move on to the safes. To be honest, you can actually do this while you're sourcing cargo for your warehouses, like in the first step, but just to keep the video structured, I've separated it into its own section. Basically, you're going to go around collecting all the passive income from the safes across your businesses so they can keep generating as much as possible without hitting their max limit while you're busy with the active money methods later on. These saves include the nightclub. I actually collected right away as I was heading to my second warehouse since mine is in La Mesa. By the way, I usually leave the popularity at 90% because when you walk in, Marcel always texts you to deal with either a VIP or a troublemaker. If it's a VIP, I don't even bother, but if it's a troublemaker, it's fast and easy and it gives you that last popularity boost. Yes, I'm lazy, I know. Other safes include the arcade, agency, garment factory, salvage yard, and the car wash. The arcade, agency, and garment factory generate money passively without you having to do anything. The others require a bit of effort. For the salvage yard, you need to do tow truck services to keep its invisible popularity at max. I won't explain how it works here, but it's worth doing those missions occasionally so you can earn upwards of $24,000 per in-game day from this. If you have the staff upgrade, you can do these missions every 48 minutes. Without it, it's every 96 minutes. The upgrade isn't that essential. I also recommend getting the safe upgrade so the salvage yard safe can hold up to $250,000. That way you don't have to come back so often to collect. As for the car wash, this one requires less effort. Just run a car wash job occasionally to lower your heat completely. Even if the heat bar is full, doing just one job resets it, which is great. Of course, if you want to maximize profits from this safe, you'll want to have as many outside businesses as possible. But don't buy a small or medium special cargo warehouse just for this. Sacrificing 2 large warehouses isn't worth it at all. So now that all the safes that need setting up are set up and everything is emptied, we can get to work. Just keep in mind that some safes fill up way faster than others. You might want to collect from a few again after around 2.5 hours, but others like the garment factory take days to fill, so there's no point constantly checking them. That part is up to you to manage your time and schedule. The next thing I decided to include in this routine is the time trials, both the regular time trial and the HSW time trial. These can only be done once per week and reset every Thursday along with the weekly GTA Online update. What you need to do is go to the icon on the map, start the time trial, and then set a waypoint to the destination so you get a route on your map. Now, this route isn't always the best one, it depends on where the time trial starts that week, but it gives you a general idea. Then just restart and try again until you complete it. For the HSW time trial, you'll obviously need an HSW upgraded vehicle. I recommend using the Hakuchu drag, it's probably the best for this. You can also use a fast car like the Banshee or the Niobe, but you're way more likely to crash. As you can see, the HSW time trial pays $250,000 for like 2 minutes of work. It's honestly the best money method in the game in terms of payout versus effort. The only downside is that it can only be done once per week. You can also do the regular time trial, which pays $100,000, still a really good reward. But this one is usually harder, and I have to admit, I've raged a lot trying to complete it. Probably a skill issue, but yeah. Now let's move on to the big boys, the Cayo heist and the Dr. Dre contract. If you're playing solo and plan to grind for like 5 hours in a day, start with the Dr. Dre contract. But if you're only playing for around 2 hours, you should definitely start with the Cayo heist. Now, if you're not playing solo, honestly, you can start with either one. Here's why. The Dr. Dre contract only has a 48-minute cooldown, while the Cayo heist has a 144-minute cooldown when you're doing it solo. That's nearly 2.5 hours. But if you're playing for someone else, the cooldown for Cayo also drops to 48 minutes, which is amazing. So if you're solo and grinding for several hours, do the Dr. Dre contract first, then do the Cayo heist. That way, by the time you finish Cayo, the Dr. Dre contract is over and you can start again. As you can see, in this run I scoped out bearer bonds, not the best target, but it is what it is, still going to make me a lot of money. In the finale, I managed to fill my bag with white stuff, which is the best secondary loot you can get when running the heist solo. All in all, I made around $1.1 million from this in about 45 minutes of work. I went ahead and also completed the Dr. Dre contract. It always takes a bit longer, and honestly I really don't enjoy doing it. It's made up of 11 missions, and even though it only takes around 1 hour to complete, it feels like 4 hours of gameplay, but maybe that's just me. Luckily, Rockstar made pretty much all the cutscenes skippable, which really helps, especially the studio time, which takes around 5 minutes, and the finale cutscene, which is also super annoying. In the end, I made a flat $1 million, always the same payout, so yeah. And aside from those two top active menu methods, you might still have some downtime between cooldowns, especially if you're a solo player. So I decided to include an intermediate option in this list. The two best options for these are usually the Cluck and Bell farm raid or the Oscar Guzman Flies Again missions. To start the Cluck and Bell farm raid, all you need to do is go to the V icon on the map and start it. Even if you're level 1 with no money in your account and nothing unlocked in this game, you can still do it, there's no setup cost at all. It will take around 1 hour to complete, and the first time you finish it, you'll earn $750,000. After that, it pays $500,000, still very good. The Oscar Guzman Flies Again missions can be started from the Mackenzie Field hangar, which will cost you around $1.5 million, take a bit longer, and honestly they're harder to complete solo. But I know a lot of people really enjoy them and the payout is solid, $750,000 on hard mode, so it's definitely a good option too, that's for sure. And the final step, and honestly one of the most important, is to sell your business's stock once they're full. For example, the bunker takes around 12 hours to fill up. The nightclub takes around 20 hours, and the special cargo warehouses take even longer. But others like the acid lab fill up in just 3 hours if you use the production boost I mentioned earlier. So what I recommend is to always sell in a public lobby with 20 plus players. That way you get an extra 50% in profits. For example, when I sold the acid lab stock, which is worth 350k, I ended up making 527k, which is amazing. With the bunker, you can also make around $1.5 million, and for the nightclub, the payout really depends on when you sell. Just don't wait for every product to be maxed out. A quick tip, always try to sell when the South American imports, pharmaceutical research, and cash creation are full. They fill up faster than the others. And of course, all of this applies to the MC businesses if you use them. And that was basically it. I hope I organized everything in the best way possible, so the video was understandable and enjoyable. If you found it useful, please leave a like to support the channel, I really appreciate it, and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.